5, man, going top 5. Number 5, top tag team in 2022, New Day.
Yes, it is.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the New Day have been spending most of their time, feuding with like the Viking Raiders, the Usos, and all that, and losing most of the time. But they have just won the NXT Tag Team Championship, and we have to get it when they do, as one of the best tag teams in WWE right now. Oh. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of theirs. Too much comedian stuff for me. But I have to understand that there's a crowd for that. So.
Yeah, and they have the right blend of it, to me, personally. Because just as much as they can bring the funny, they can bring the pain too. Exactly. And I mean, back in the day, I used to see Xavier as a weak link in the New Day, but
I see him as something else.
The more I watch Xavier and have gotten to know him on and off the screen, between him, Coffee and Big E, I'm sorry. Between him, Coffee and Big E, I believe that they all have their own individual roles and they play it well. Mm-hmm. And as a unit, man, they're entertaining. They're fun to watch. They're good in the ring. They put on great matches. The series with them and the Usos is always a classic whenever they decide to do it. I don't see myself ever getting tired of New Day. And they've been around since 2016? Yeah. And it's the same music. They've evolved the gimmick. But right now, the NXT titles were the only titles that were eluding them, and now they have those. So they don't have the longest reigning tag team, title under them anymore, but they are now Grand Slam tag team champions. Give them that. The New Day, they are going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, all
right. Number 4, Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Now they came back at SummerSlam, aligning themselves with Bayley. Mm-hmm. And when Sasha Banks and Naomi left the company, they vacated the championship, so there was a vacant women's tag team championship. They won a tournament to get those titles. Then they lost them to Asuka and Alexa Bliss on Raw, just to get them back 5 days later in Saudi Arabia. So they're 2-time women tag team champions. So that's why they deserve to be on this list.
I agree. They had impact. It's like they showed up.
No pun intended.
Yeah. They had impact. They showed up and they made a splash. Yeah. You knew they were there. They aligned themselves with the former women's champion, and they, made the best of it.
Other than them getting beat up by Bianca every other week.
Look, you pick and choose your battles. You know where to go and where not to go. Right. You hit a wall. You choose to run into a wall, you know what's going to happen.
All right.
The wall's going to win.
Top 3 time, baby. Number 3, The Acclaim.
The Acclaim. You know the name. Let me tell you something, man. The Acclaim got so much, first of all, let me just say, I'm proud of how far the Acclaim has come. People dissed the Acclaim. People talked about the Acclaim. People talked about the gimmick, talking about it was the fake John Cena and his lackey. People gave them so much, man, and look where they are now. They have one of the most over acts in AEW. When that music hits, the crowd goes crazy. They waiting to see what he gonna say on the mic next. The Scissor Me Daddy thing took off. They selling merch left and right. They've aligned with the wrestling legend and Billy Gunn. They got the squad. They got the squad. Yeah. I didn't see it coming at first, but I always knew it was something about them to when they were on TV, you had to watch. The matches aren't too bad either,
They're a team that, like I said, I didn't care for at first, but like you said, one of the AEW's bright spots this year is kind of grooming and getting the Acclaim ready for that spotlight. Even it came organic because the people chose them. Not gonna lie to you, I don't think AEW chose them and said, all right, you know what, they're gonna be the next tag team champion. I think they got a good response. Tony kind of listened to him, and that's what you got.
You got the Acclaim, baby.
Got the Acclaim as the tag team champions, and I couldn't be more happier for them.
Yeah.
So kudos to them, and they're number 3 on the list. That they deserve to be number 3 on this list. As one of the most entertaining tag teams, and them getting their tag team championships from Swerve.
Yes, sir.
And Keith Lee, and thank goodness for that.
Sesame Daddy.
Number 2, FTR.
You know, everybody know how I feel about FTR, man. They are throwbacks, and that's something they used to say in the WWE a lot. And I used to be like, why they keep calling them that? And then I actually stopped and paid attention. They are throwbacks to some of your classic wrestlers from the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. They are a mix of a masterclass of how it's done. And they gel so well as a unit. The boys have dominated the tag division. Now, as far as being booked in the company that they are officially under, they haven't been booked the best. Now,
even losing some of their loss in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've been losing.
But outside of the walls of AEW, they look like the best team in the world outside of the walls of AEW.
Yeah.
They look like the best tag team in the world. You can't mess with FTR. You listen to the reception when they come in. You listen to the reviews of their matches. FTR, when they cooking on all cylinders, they can't be stopped. It's just, at the end of the day, though, you have to be booked the right way. You could come out there and put on a masterclass. I mean, look how long it took for people like Cesaro to get noticed by the company, that is. The people saw. Daniel Bryan, the same thing. Bryan Danielson now. But FTR is another one of those teams that, you know, unfortunately they're in a position to where they're not getting appreciated by AEW as they should. But even in the midst of that, they're still high up on our list. For those of us who appreciate great pro wrestling for what it is, and great pro wrestlers that get out there and do it each and every night, and they never disappoint whether they win or lose.
All right. Number 1. You know who number 1 is.
Off.
The Usos.
They the twos. But
we the ones.
We the ones, baby. The Usos, your longest reigning tag team champions
of all time. And they're in the biggest storyline of all time right now. And they're consistent, well, not consistently, but they're regularly defending them tag team belts. They're about to defend it next week against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
Man.
So, you know, you have to give it to them. Longest reigning tag team champion. I think they've had the tag team champion since, I'm pretty sure it was May of 2021. So I'm pretty sure
mess with them. The Usos have come a long way. From when they first showed up with Tamina on Monday Night Raw to where they are now. They went through the whole island phase. They went through a lot. Even when they first became the day one-ish Usos, they still had some evolving to do from there. Again, the Bloodline storyline is the best thing that could ever happen to the Usos. And the Usos were good before that. So, to me, it's only elevated them even further. So that now, even if the Bloodline was to ever break up, the Usos will always be seen as a force because they're just that good.
And to me, I think if you break them up, I think they both have a chance to shine because of this Bloodline.
Yep.
Because you didn't really know their personality. Now with the Bloodline, you know their personality. Jay is the rowdy one that'll get up in you, and Jimmy's the cool laid back. You know now.
Yep. And hey, good TV. Great. When the Usos on TV.
And to me, some of the greatest tag teams of our time are people that you know individually.
I agree.
You can spot individually.
I agree.
Know them individually, and they can have great solo careers.
I agree, because if you look at the past, it's the exact same thing. You could break up any tag team that you want, and the ones who were at the top, as the Usos, for example, those are the ones that went on to separately dominate just as well as they did together.
I mean, just look at it. You know, the Rockers, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, like all of them went on to have great solo careers.
Yeah.
or someone, or one of the two went on to have great solo careers.
Yeah.
Like the Rockers with Shawn Michaels went on and had this illustrious career, and Mark Jannetty had somewhat of a good career. You had Edge and Christian, who both had pretty good careers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the Usos can do that too now with the storylines.
Should we even look at the Hart Foundation?
Exactly, all of them. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot. So you can do that.
definitely do.
So I will say the Usos have that number one spot, and it's well deserved.
Yeah.
You know, give it to the boys.
we appreciate it, man. That was our top 10 tag team of 2022. We had 53 subscribers, man.
We made it.
On the road to 75.
The road to 75, baby. That's that goal. You know what? Let's make January. Let's shoot for it. Let's say the end of January.
By the
Let's
Rumble?
be by the Royal Rumble. Let's be
on
at
28,
75. Let's be at 75.
All right, I'm down with it.
You know what? Tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell your puppy, tell your goldfish. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We love y'all, man.
I'm out, man. Peace.